Morning, everybody. Uh, I'm on my way to work. I'm a little bit early. God wanted me to wake up early and start reading the Bible and pray. So I'm doing that. Trying to get up early here and do as much as I can for His work. I got like a good 20 minutes before I need to head off, so I figured I'd blast out another video here. So lots of new subscribers, lots of cool comments. It's been lively, it's been informative and inspiring, and super cool to hear other people's points of views, other people's stories, their testimony. And I think also everybody reading along is going to get something to chew on and sort of indicate and validate their experience base and put together some of the things that they've been suspecting themselves. This guy Marvin, I believe his screen name was. Super cool comments. Thank you, Marvin. This is actually based on a discussion we had about stuffity stuff, and so his comment led me to sort of feel stoked about sharing some other weird things that God allowed me to see. Sometimes in sleep state, I've noticed two strange things can happen. Many strange things can happen, but two kind of uniquely strange things can happen. Okay, so you got visions that you see from God. Those are like beamed right into your brain, right? And then there's the things when God can take your spirit and your consciousness to a different location to see things. Maybe that's like when he says taking your spirit and to see things. So one is when it comes directly into your brain, you're probably still in your bed, and another one where you're literally transported out of body and seeing things. Now the same thing can happen. The bad guys can do the same thing. Maybe even though you have God's protection, maybe God allows this to happen to you so that given certain conditions, that you won't be hurt or something like that, so you can go see things. Or to other people that don't have this protection, hey, whatever, maybe anything could happen to you, I suppose. Unfortunately. However, this pertains to trying to keep my voice high here, because my mic is a little bit low, and I have a tendency to sort of volume down and slow things down and talk real slow. Where was I? So yeah, I'm I was shown at least two different occasions, multiple occasions, but in this specific two different occasions, I was allowed to see things that are happening in a different place, man. The type of place that TV is never going to tell you is real, and they'll never teach you about at school. One was as I'm being taken away to see this, it becomes God's showing me that it's underground. So we're going into a cave underground, a massive cave, and it goes and goes and goes, and I don't know how far underground it is, and I don't know if we traverse through a portal, but boom, next thing you know, we're in this massive underground ocean type of place. It reminds me of like a resort lake. It doesn't look as nice though. It's just this big water. There's no waves or nothing like that, because I don't think there's like, an active atmosphere, a wind. And the whole place is encapsulated in a massive dome, and it's lit up, but it's not like sunlight. It's just this homogeneous background light, and there doesn't seem to be any clouds or anything, but the place seems to be sort of like it's so big, and the dome's so big that I think some of the vapor is sort of in. Okay, now my angel dude's saying, yo, shut up, just keep going, nobody cares about that. Okay, so hey, yo, Eric, move on, this is boring. Okay, so I'm in this floating resort, like a building. It almost looks like a hotel or something, but it's okay. So there's a big banquet hall, and hundreds of people in there. You know, lines and long lines of tables. Normal, average, middle class types with their families and children. And there's this announcer, and they've been eating and banqueting. They have this show, you know, music, and now there's some kind of raffle going on, and everybody's like getting all stoked. You know, they're gonna go win some prizes. You know, they're gonna go. You know, they already signed up for this stuff, and they've been getting all kinds of information about, you know, like, oh, you know, drone technology's coming out. You know, all these things that the so-called Illuminati kingdom is going to be rolling out, you know, and keeping it interesting because, you know, information is the currency of insiders, right? So so next thing you know, I see this guy, man. He's on the mic. He's like, come on, people. He looks like straight out of Hunger Games, you know. He's got the crazy hair and the makeup. I mean, the guy looks creepy, man, you know. Just cringe, pure cringe. And he's like, whoa, 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 or something. And everybody starts running around like crazy. Oh, they're going buck wild, man. You know, whatever they got to do, they got to run around to win these prizes. And I thought that was the reference. That was like Satan's little middle finger reference to, like, and they should run to and fro. And, you know, even Satan runs to and fro, right? When he goes and talks to God about Job, God's like, from whence do you come? And he's like, from running to and fro on the earth, you know. And I saw Job, anyways, because just Satan runs back and forth. He's got that reptilian response thing, rah, rah, you know. He just always, you know, so, and then the next thing you know, I see these people that have been running around on the raffles. A few of them are like, yeah, we win, and they go off on a yacht. You know, they won this yacht and stuff. And it's just like little sugar daddy approach to, you know, keeping the insiders on the inside so that their condemnation will be ensured. And, yeah, stuff like that. And so I was shown that these things happen, and they're sort of in these faraway places. Can you imagine these people? It's like the country club, the secret country club. Of course, you know, they're gonna love that stuff. You can give them like terrible food, but the fact that it's secret and sort of quote unquote elite, everybody will buy into it, and it's like, yo, man, you know, poor folk, really, he's deceived everyone, man. Second thing after that, I was taken away, and I don't know, this must have been just in another dimension. You know, there's so many interlacing spaces between this and wherever these guys are allowed to camp out. But so I'm flying into like what looks like this kind of upper class suburban house, and I'm actually allowed to hang with these Nephilim kids, the children, and the parents are like, oh, we got a visitor, you know, like, well, it's mildly charming, to be honest, kind of nice, but there's also things that they're a little bit different, like, and somehow I'm reasonably popular with these kids, and maybe it's because they see our 44 form. 144 form is like, yo, man, it's like Batman or something like that, you know. And this one kid's just like playing on his video game, and he turns around and he looks at me and says, you know what, I think I could just play video games my entire life. And one thing I noticed is that the Nephilim kids, they're a little bit, they have massive anxiety for other Nephilim that are outside of their family, because they are you know, they got that curse on them that makes them very aggressive, and all the Nephilim shall war against each other until they wipe each other out until the end of time, right? Enoch. So I noticed that, and I've picked up on the fact that it's like this weird magnetic effect. Like, you can have two of them next to each other, and you can't stop it from happening. It's just like one will peck at the other, or if they're both like fighter types, alpha types, they'll start going fisticuffs if they don't just not look at each other and go off and do other things. So these kids are like, oh, I'll just play video games forever. I don't want to be part of the world, you know, kind of life sucks and blah blah blah. And then the next scene is like the kids are eating and they're given like these meatballs looking things, and in my awareness I'm told that's human meat, man, you know. And as the children eat, their teeth, in the book of Enoch it says they have two sets of teeth. One is like normal, and then they just transform, just change, and it becomes like these long needly teeth. They're like literally this long, and they go like that, and they start going out like this, and they eat like their food. And it's like, whoa. And I'm just thinking, man, you guys are like, you know, I'm human, man, you know, and here you are just totally nonchalant, like that's human meat. And it's like, well, we got to feed our kids, you know, and somehow they got to eat like human meat or something like that. That was beamed into me. Enoch, again, humans were enslaved by the Nephilim, and all their hard labor was to feed their ravenous appetites, and when that wasn't enough, they would eat the humans, and if that wasn't enough, I think it even says they started eating each other. So, yeah. And I think that's where some of the vampire references of old come from, because the teeth, you know, the hidden teeth, and the potential for them to gorge on human flesh. And then I was sort of transported away from that. Now these are, yeah, and and then today God's like, make the video, send it out. You know, you've come this far, and I've already worked on you to not be reserved. You know, he gets really pretty angry, man. You know, he knows I got that Asian side. He's like, yo, this is not all right. You know, he's reprimanded me a few times for, you know, as a Buddhist, and he gets super jealous about my hardcore. Man, I was into Buddhism, and I put hard work into it. And in Buddhism, you kind of get to a stage where you become really satirical and critical about the standard state of thinking. And it's like, why do you have problems with, say, embarrassment? These are mental constructs, you know, like blah, blah, blah. You just break everything down, and before you know it, everything looks retarded. And then you're like, I renounce from everything, right? And then you got to build up a new way of thinking based on the Buddha philosophies. The Buddha Dharma, which is in its core essence the only foundation of reasonability if you meditate and you realize these things, right? And God's like, well, you know, you used to be all about that. Now you're getting embarrassed about this. Why are you getting embarrassed? You know, you've seen the truth, and I've shown you, you know? And then I'm like, you know, and he's like, you're not even a good Buddhist, you know, that kind of thing. So, man, he drags me through the mud too, man. He shames me. Anyway, so there's that. Make of that what you will. Hopefully that's some extra crunchiness for you to digest, and, you know, yeah, it's time to realize, man. A few of you, I you know, this is for the audience that sort of has come a certain ways, and hopefully for other 144, but that's what you're dealing with, man. It's you're in the matrix. Your entire reality perspective is managed and handed out to you. It's a standard cut and dry, man. You're not even allowed to ask the right questions. You know, the second your mind is even pondering those things, they'll come, boom, they got some kind of mental response that's like, no, you know. Guys, sometimes I wonder, and I don't want to murmur, that's not what I'm doing this, but I just wonder, man, God had its, whoa, man, he whatever we did, we shouldn't do that again, man. We need to make sure we have God's favor eternally. No. This sucks too bad, man. And there's no amount of McDonald's, Coca-Cola, TV shows, and a decent middle class living that's gonna make that all right, man. Sorry, I renounce, man. I need God's world, nothing else. Hallelujah. Praise God. Praise Jesus Christ. Peace.